back to Coffee with Moshe, being filmed by Esther. Excellent coffee.
Excellent filmer.
Continuing with Ben's question about my style of teaching. I remember certain teachers would say, "That's crap, horrible, awful. Sorry, correct me where I was wrong." And they correct one little point. And I say, in other words, I was 98.5% correct and 1.5% off. And that's how I got reprimanded? I don't see a reason for that. I don't coddle anybody. I don't take it easy on people. People work hard over here, but there's no need to insult people. Nobody comes here to get insulted. I recall the t-shirt factory where we print up our lovely IKI t-shirts, which you should have one as well. You could order one online from us. I remember coming in there, and a lot of Krav Maga schools print their t-shirts over there. So my mother always said, if you have nothing nice to say about someone, don't say anything. So when I'm asked about certain Krav Maga organizations, I'll say they have quality t-shirts because I know where they're made. But that's where it ends. I remember this one guy comes in, and he sees Uri. Uri's a wonderful man. I know him for many years. He works in the t-shirt factory, one of the terrific guys there. Sweetheart of a man. And they come over, and how do they greet him? Hey! Forearm strike. Hey! Knee kick. Hey! Ha ha ha! I won't mention the name of the school. What are you, a Neanderthal? You don't know how to shake hands? Okay, during coronavirus, maybe something different, but why hit the guy playfully? Why? It's like you come to the dojo to train because you were humiliated in high school by the guy who put your head in the toilet seat. And what do you find out? That same jerk is now your sensei. So why come there? Who wants a sensei who's a jerk? Who wants to be put down? You have a hard time at school. You have a hard time in your day job. You come to the dojo, treat the guy with respect. However good he is, however bad he is. Never mock a student. Sometimes it's frustrating as a teacher, but never deliberately insult a student. And I saw that a lot. At the place that I went boxing, sometimes your hands get tired, and you would say, "Why are you holding your testicles?" Please, there's no need to speak this way. So I eliminate the foul mouth, the cursing, the bad language, the insults, the put down. You don't have to be a nasty person to teach effective, hardcore self-defense. There's other ways to teach. So again, back to Ben's question, I don't follow that model. To take, as we say in Hebrew, l'havdil, a different approach, I remember when I came to Crew Phil Nurse in Thai boxing. And Phil Nurse is a wonderful man, champion all over the world in several weight classes, and I brought a camera. Now, at a lot of schools, there are schools I've been to where they made me delete the photos. I said, what is this, a secret military compound? You have to delete the photos? Phil, and that's what we called him, Phil, because that's his name, took my camera, and I'm like, uh-oh. He said, yeah. He started climbing on the walls, climbing on the ring, getting good shots. Terrific guy. Why not? Why not? It doesn't hurt to be a nice guy. As my cousin Joe Klein always says, it's just as easy to be a nice person as a nasty person. So you can be hardcore. This guy was a thorough champion. And some photos now that these were taken by Phil Nurse in the gym in New York. It's South Houston Street was called. As you can see, we worked very hard. In fact, I remember the training, we began with jump roping, barefoot on wood for 40 minutes. This was not a lightweight kind of place. But I saw again, you could smile, you could enjoy the class, and never forget that we're dealing with a deadly, serious matter. I had the privilege, as Ben said, to train with many wonderful instructors and to try to take from each one the best qualities in terms of techniques, in terms of approach and philosophy, and in terms of how to teach. I'll just give one more example from my dear friend Arthur Cohen, may he rest in peace, a fellow Cohen. I had the pleasure of doing a seminar with him. He came to one of my seminars in New York City. We drove there together, and I started teaching. And this is a point that I still need to work on. And I just started teaching. And he was taking notes the whole time, and I felt like I was being graded by my instructor. Oh my goodness. I wish I still had his original notes. May he rest in peace. Good man. And Arthur said to me afterwards, why should anybody listen to you? You didn't introduce yourself. You didn't tell them a little bit about yourself. And I said, Arthur, why should I waste their time talking about me? Who cares who I am? He said, the students want to know who you are, where you come from, why you speak with authority. They need to know who you are. It's like when you write an article, say a few words about the author so you know who this person is. Is he a doctor writing about the coronavirus, or a farmer, or who knows what, a clown? You write an article about a medical issue, right? He has an MD from Harvard. Introduce yourself. And Arthur showed me his presentation. For those who know Arthur, he tall, strong man, a bald head, and he looked a lot, in his words, like Mr. Clean from the toilet bowl commercial. So he would start off by showing a cartoon picture of Mr. Clean, who looks just like him, another Arthur Cohen, who is a playwright of some sort, and Arthur Cohen's a fairly common name, and he would show certain ones, and he would say, who is Arthur Cohen? Is he Mr. Clean from the toilet bowl commercial? Is he the author, the playwright, etc., etc.? No, I'm Arthur Cohen, the karate instructor. And he would explain who he is. And he said to me, you have to introduce yourself. Then he looked at his notes again and he says, you've learned to use humor as a method of teaching. That's a good point. That's very good, he said to me. Use humor. That's a way to get people to relax, to enjoy the class. He also said something else that was very important to me. He said, people come in with 2 eyes, 10 fingers, that's how they leave. Nobody came here to get hurt. Make sure you do not hurt anybody at a seminar. You have no right to hurt them. There are instructors who take pride in hurting people. Arthur taught me never hurt a student. So people will say you're a softie. One other example I learned from a woman who, an Israeli woman, I was teaching at one of the universities in California. I think it was Stanford and Berkeley, and she was the advisor to the Israeli students. And they put out food because it was going to be like an Israel night. Falafel, whatever, pita, potato chips, whatever it was, hummus. And I couldn't get these lazy students to do anything, and I was getting frustrated. And she pulled me over and she says, listen, I took a year course to prepare myself for this job of working with American Jewish students. You're doing it all wrong. Let me try to teach you how to work with these people. And she says, I know what you're going to say. You're an American. She says, let me tell you something about yourself. You look like an American. You speak like an American. You may dress like an American. You were born in the United States, but you think like an Israeli. And I know it because I recognize it. You expect them to be like soldiers. These aren't soldiers. These are relaxed, liberal American students who aren't used to being told what to do. You have to learn how to work with them. You can't be so harsh on them. They won't respond to you. I took this rebuke to heart. She was right, and I've never forgotten that lesson. When I get to a group, I look at the group. I try to gauge them. When I teach a seminar at John Liptak's place, it's different than Joe Kayer's. When I teach at Core Martial Arts with Scott and Carrie, it's different than with Joe. When I go to each place, Hal, whoever it is in America, it's a different group. They may be similar, but they're different. I won't teach a group of ex-Marines and Special Forces the way I'm going to teach a bunch of people that are coming in for their first lesson. I learned this from the rebuke that I received years ago. So enjoy your coffee and pay attention.